Greetings everyone, this is Lesli St. and today we are learning how to put together this part of your Boho-Chic thrift store garland. We're putting our bead, we're learning how to make a tassel and connect it to our bead. We're learning how to make the loop that joins the bead and tassel to the crochet chain, and I am teaching you how to make the crochet chain as well. So welcome to the videos, and I say this at the end of the videos and I want to say it again. I hope you send pictures of what you've made. Even if you only make one tassel, I would love to see what everybody's creative imagination has come up with for the tassels and the garland and the bead. Thank you. Hello everyone, we are here today to finish the second part of this Boho-Chic thrift store garland or bunting, depends on what you want to call it. So today, last time we did the beads. This time we are going to do tassels. So I used this, for this particular one, I used this kind of novelty yarn for the tassel. What I am going to do today is I'm going to use, let me get this out of the way, standard crochet knitting yarn, acrylic. I kind of like this color, so I'm going to use this color, but I also like this red. Let me see here. There it is. So, I also like the red. So, let's just start with the blue. But as you can see, your tassels can be just about anything. There's this crazy tassel on my garland. It's kind of the oddball in the bunch that I made out of fuzzy and nubby yarn. You can use any kind of yarn. I don't care what you use. The making of the tassel is the same. So, first, and we are going to do this the easy way because it's just easier. All right. Roll off. We're going to use our hands. Normally, when you make tassels, you kind of wrap them around something so your tassels are all even and all that kind of good stuff. But today, we're just going to use our hands and a pair of scissors. So to start, when you start, leave a little tail here, just so you have a little extra. And I want you to wrap the yarn around the upper palm of your hand, loosely, about 7 times. So there's 1, 2, hang on, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can do more, you can do less. More makes them very much more fluffier. And then trim that off so you have these 2 little ends right here. Now you can take your loop, lay it down, and now you're going to cut an end here, or a piece of yarn, 6 inches to 8 inches long. About. And this side is the start and finish. This side is all the loops. On this side, you're going to take your just cut thread or yarn, draw it through. Let me move this over. Draw it through. And you're going to wrap once over, and then your threads are going to be like this, and you're going to lay this one over top of this one, and you're going to wrap and pull. Classic square knot. Now The threads, you're going to notice these two pieces are going to naturally kind of go different directions just because of the way the knot is. So bring this one down to follow its way and bring this one over here. So they blend right into the top of your tassel, because this is the top of your tassel. Now, I'm going to have you cut another piece of yarn about 10 inches, give or take. I mean, it can be less, but I always say extra is better because it leaves you room. And you're going to take that, and about in the middle of it, you're going to pull this down, pull this down, and right like that, just like we did before, we're going to take one yarn, wrap it over the top of the other, pull it through, and you're going to have to pull kind of tight on this one, hopefully to make it stick better. There we go. And then this one goes over top of this one, wrap it through, and you have your knot. Now you can grab where your tie is at the top, and you can kind of pull it down a little bit so it's and if it doesn't feel tight enough, feel free to take it around to the back and tie it one more time. Sometimes that second set of knots is very helpful. And there you have a tassel. So this one is kind of not wanting to lay down. There's a couple of things you can do here. You can take glue and you can knot that. I mean, you can put a drop of glue there and then cut it short. Because this is a garland. We're not doing a finished product garment or anything. It's a garland. We can do a little bit of experimentation. We don't have to do like perfect sewing or perfect anything. It's a garland. No one's going to look at our details. What they're going to see is the beauty of the finished product. So let me see if I can tie this one more time and make that lay down. And knotting it a million times is always good. Oh, no, that didn't work. And this is how it goes. Always how it goes. Actually, might have worked okay. So I'm going to get some glue. I have Eileen's tacky glue, and I have Elmer's glue. It does not matter what kind of glue you use. Either one. And it will hold it tight so you can, like if you have it outside, you won't have to worry about it coming undone. So, if you're going to have, let's see if I can get this, oh, there it is. I'm going to put just a drop right there. Both glues dry clear. So you are not going to see it, but it will hold it. And that's it. Then you just have to wait for it to dry. It doesn't take too long. Now, the next step is to cut the loops. You just kind of pull them so they're taut. Then you're going to have some, you know, kind of long ones, kind of shorter ones. Trim it. And you have a tassel. Tassel 1, ready to go. For the next segment of our video, we're going to be joining tassel and bead. How pretty is that? So what I have is I have this old nylon thread. It's kind of a heavy thread that I'm going to use. You can use any thread. I think what I didn't say in the first video, if you're going to hang this outside, you might want to use things like acrylic yarn and polyester thread as much as possible, because they won't deteriorate quite as much as cotton or wool in the elements. So just if you're thinking of that, just remember that. So next step of this video is going to be attaching these two. And the next step of the video after that will be making the chain for our garland. Okay, we're back. Here is our tassel, and you can see right here is where we glued it. And it's clear, you can't tell. And it's quite stable. Pull on it, it won't come undone. So, whoops, got caught here. Okay, these are our tools and supplies. You don't need the yarn right now. Our tools and supplies are, excuse me, my cat is in the way. This is Pearl right here. Okay. Tools and supplies, scissors, needle, and it's that same more thin needle with a big eye. The thicker needles are harder to get through the bead. You can use them, but it requires your pliers for sure. And this is, like I said earlier, it's polyester thread, 100%. This is what it looks like. It's actually YLI jean stitch fabric, so it's a little bit heavier duty, 100% spun polyester. Any thread will do. I just happen to have this. And again, I bought it at the thrift store in a bag, half price. It's amazing the things you find at the thrift store. So we need a length of thread. You know, I'm going to say 2 feet. We're going to work on that and see how that goes. Be generous. Thread, oh boy, you know, we get taught in school or by people who sew that, you know, oh, don't waste thread, don't waste thread. Well, trust me, you're not wasting thread. You are providing yourself with a less stressful experience, because running out of thread while you're sewing is, to me, stressful. So here we go. We are going to thread this. And we're going to double it. And we're going to do an overhand knot. Well, actually what we're going to do is the typical, this is an embroidery knot, okay? So you take between those 2 fingers, wrap once, wrap twice, hold it, pull it, pull it, pull it. There's your knot. So here is our tassel. I'm going to pull this through. And we pull that through between the 2 threads, okay? Now we're going to pull this knot right here just kind of into the middle of that top part of our tassel. Well, and that didn't work on this one, which is fine. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to use our glue relief for this one too, okay? We're not going to use it right this minute. But here we have our thread on our tassel. Now, I don't know if you like the bead, because some of the beads are flatter on, you can see right there. So you could put it this way, your needle through it this way, or you can put your needle through it this way. I think I'm going to do it this way. So what you do is you push your needle through as far as you can with your fingers, and then you grab your pliers. Because if you've done your beads pretty tight, you will need your pliers. So I try to get the beads on here as straight as I can. And oftentimes, okay, don't tell anybody, oftentimes I just take the needle, put it straight up, and push down on the table. That actually gives me the straightest push through. So use a hard surface. If it's your good table, please don't use the table, but maybe you can find a piece of plastic, hard plastic, or a piece of metal that you can put there and use to push on. So we have our tassel, right? Now what we're going to do is we have this nice length of thread. We're going to use our fingers again as a measuring. So if you can see, I left about quarter inch right here, wrapped, and what I'm going to do is anchor right here. And I'm going to take 3 stitches, because 3 stitches is always your anchoring stitches. Number 3. And then we have our loop, we have our tassel, we have our bead, and let's take our needle. Oops, sorry, just caught it. We're going to take our needle, we're just going to push it through one way. Pull it out over here. And we are going to trim. You're going to do this for all your beads and all your tassels. I forgot to tell you on the last one. There you go. Be sure and do 10 tassels to go with your 10 beads. If you're a fanatic about how even your tassel is, when it lays down you can really see some of the unevenness, so you can trim it. These Fiskars children's scissors are awesome, just so you know. Inexpensive and awesome for crafts. And there you have a tassel, a bead, and the holder. I hope you enjoyed this. Next video is going to be crocheting the chain. Now, you don't have to crochet. You can take a piece of yarn and just tie the tassels on at even lengths. I mean, that's perfectly okay. So let's see how many ways we can attach them. I used crochet. For this one, you can even finger crochet. And we're going to attach it just like that. Okay. Thank you for watching. Hello again. This is Lesli St. John again. So we are here to learn how to crochet a chain and attach our tassels to the chain. So you can see here where I used our loop to attach the tassel. I've decided, I mean, there's many ways you can do it. You can just do it on a simple, and just tie the tassels periodically on your yarn. However, this I think is stronger, and there's some give to it, so when you hang it, it'll have just some give, which is always good. Okay, so we're going to crochet hook. I have an N size crochet hook, a big one, which makes it easier. Of course, your standard scissors, always need those. And we are going to make the foundation chain to put this tassel on. Okay, so here we go. Our reminder tassel. When you crochet, relatively easy. It just takes practice like anything else. But doing a chain is actually one of the most important things you can learn, because you learn how to not stress and not make it too tight. And I encourage you to make your chain loose. Do not worry about what it looks like. Do not worry about if you did it right, because we don't care. If you can get your tassels onto your chain, you've done it right, okay? First step. We're going to make the slip knot. So wrap around your hand and crisscross. As you get better at slip knots, you'll be doing this around a finger, okay? So see this loop? You're going to reach through, you're going to pull. This is your tail, this is your working yarn, and the knot slips along your working yarn. Crochet hook. So you want to keep the tail off to the side a little bit. And this is something for, normally if we were making a crochet item, we would weave the tail back in. What we're going to do is we're going to glue this knot so it doesn't ever come undone, and then we can snip our tail. Okay, so this is the way I hold my yarn. You are free to figure out how you want to hold your yarn. If you just want to hold it between these two fingers and pull it through, that's fine, because it all works. As you get more proficient at it, if you've never done this before, if you've done this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you've never done this before, this is a great opportunity to learn the first step of crochet. So when you crochet, this is what it looks like. So you always yarn over, okay? And then you pull that yarn through, and then you yarn over, and then you pull that yarn through, and then you yarn over, and you pull that yarn through. And as you can see, it makes a chain, like it looks like a chain. And see how loose and kind of, you know, random that looks? That's fine. That's all we care about. So here's your chain. Yarn over, pull it through. See it? Yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through. There's our chain. Okay, so you may have to practice this, you know, and if this is yarn that you bought at the thrift store for $1, maybe what you need to do is practice. That's fine. It's fine. It's your basics. So now we have a tassel we want to put onto this, right? So this is not tricky, but it is kind of counterintuitive. When we want to put the tassel on, we put the crochet hook through the loop on the tassel and bead, and then we do the same thing as we've been doing. Oops, sorry. We yarn over, and now we're going to pull that yarn through the tassel loop and through the loop on our hook. Boom. And it's attached. Okay, then we're going to do more. Yarn over. Now I'm going to show you how I crochet. I have it through my fingers, around my middle finger, and that is how I get my tension. It's kind of a loose tension. I like the yarn to just flow. But it's always yarn over, pull through. Always. No matter what, unless you're doing a specialty stitch, it is always back, yarn to the front, yarn over, yarn to the front, yarn over. And we have a tassel on a chain. All right, my friends. I hope that you send pictures to the YouTube channel or to Dawn or to Health Solutions and show us what you've made. I'm very excited to see what people are making out there. Okay, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.